Hey Nukenites! Welcome to Nuke the Stars, cheap and awesome indie game explosion! Yes. I've talked about indie games on my channel before, namely Braid. I told everyone to go out and buy Braid, and if you don't have Braid, be sure to pick it up. It's an awesome little game. But yeah, I wanted to highlight some other games in a 3-part series here. Some really cheap games that were pretty much made by one or two dudes each. And all of these, incidentally, are available on the Steam service, the Steam downloading service. So just Google Steam and you'll know what that is soon enough. Okay, this one is called DEF CON. Everybody dies! Yay! Sounds like a great Disney movie title. But this is an atmospheric game, a tactical game, atmospheric, and it has a political edge to it, which I respect. But if you've ever seen the movie War Games with Matthew Broderick, you'll recognize this right away, because that's what this game was based on, the computer from that movie, who basically took over the military systems, the missile systems of the country. Yes, basically, the idea in this game is to lose the least, not to win. Everyone eventually loses quite a few citizens in their little towns and cities. Like, as you can see, Moscow is the biggest little dot. I'm in Russia. Rancher would be so proud. But yes, my enemy is Africa in this game. And Moscow is the biggest because it's the biggest city and has the most people. And in this game, you can send out nukes. You can send out subs that can launch even more nukes. And the point of the game is to just nuke your opponent off the planet, kill them more than they kill you. So yes, that's kind of where the subtitle for this comes from. Everybody dies. It's kind of pointing out that in a nuclear holocaust, no one is actually a winner, but you can lose the least, and that is your point in this game. That is your goal, to lose the least. As you'll see, we have reached DEF CON 2 down there. I'm playing this in very, very fast mode. This is the next to fastest setting you can set it at. You can actually get a real-time mode where everything moves very, very slow, but it's actually kind of relaxing if you're looking to unwind after a long day. But as you can see, there's a lot of options. You can launch all kinds of planes. You see I have the little carrier base here. I have a plane base. I can launch a bomber from it to blow up some of these cities. My goal is to kill as many citizens as possible. And once it reaches DEF CON 1, the counter ticks down there. Once it reaches DEF CON 1, everything's on the table. You can use nukes, you can use whatever weapon you want to destroy the enemy. Okay, let's zoom in here. As you can see, they're sending planes over. Damn you, Africa! Yes, I'm sending planes of my own to intercept their planes, and the nuclear silos, as they're called, my little silos, they act as kind of a defensive unit. They can shoot anti-air, surface-to-air missiles. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, they shoot those to get rid of enemy planes, enemy nukes, stuff like that. But if you want, you can, when DEF CON 1 rolls around in about a few seconds here, you can turn them into nuclear silos and launch nukes from them. But that means you won't be able to use them for defense either. So it's a very, very strategic game. You have to figure out when you're going to launch your nukes and how you're going to nuke the enemy cities. And if you send bombers out, like I'm doing right now, I'm sending those little stealth bombers out. They each have a little nuke in them. They can do reconnaissance and find out where the important stuff like radar dishes are, so you can take those out with nukes too. And this game could be a lot of fun with your friends. It's not so much fun versus a computer like I'm doing right now. I'm just doing a little demonstration video. But with your friends, I mean, everything's on the table. Usually when you play but with two friends or something like that, when it hits DEF CON 1, everyone just launches every single one of their nukes. And then you have to decide, when your friends launch all of their nukes, you have to decide, well, can I fend this off with what I have? And if the answer is no, well, just send all of your nukes as well and hope that you kill more people in Los Angeles than they do in Moscow or whatever. You see, I'm sending nukes from my bomber over to Cairo, and I have another nuke going down. I'm trying to come in here and draw some of the enemy fire with my planes. And this game looks simple. It looks very, very simple. It has a nice little streamlined look. But there's actually a ton of options if you just focus in on the units. you can see that I can launch bombers, and I can send bombers back to aircraft stations to refuel with nukes if I run out of nukes on my carriers over here, my aircraft carriers. And I'm actually going to lose this battle pretty horribly because I didn't have enough time to lay down all of my boats and submarines and stuff like that. And as you can see, you can zoom in pretty much as far as you want. You can micromanage all of your planes. There's a ton of options in this game. And actually, the submarines can launch nukes too. So if you... Oh, look, I hit Cairo. I never did like Cairo anyway. Yeah, it took out a ton of people in Cairo. And the good thing about this game, the atmosphere of it is so great. The music actually changes dynamically. When you hit a big city like Cairo, you can hear like a woman crying, and the music gets very sad. I'll actually shut up for a second and let you listen to some of the ambience. Okay. Oh man, my guys are getting shellacked. I did not get out enough aircraft carriers to fight this off. So yes, I'm going to die pretty horribly in this game. And I sent out nukes way too early. So yes, as you can tell, I don't play this game very often, but when I do play it, it's a lot of fun, especially if you can get some friends together. You can actually get, I think, 5 or 6 players playing. I think the only big area that you can't launch from and set up your base at is Australia, which is kind of weird and it might disappoint some of the Australian fans out there, but you can set up anywhere else you like. I can set up on America and fight Russia, Cold War II, send over some nukes there. But yeah, you can nuke from tons of different areas when it hits DEFCON 1, and it just becomes a lot of fun seeing how badly you can screw the other players over. When you get big games going, like say 3 or 4 people, you can form alliances. You can, there are a lot of different game options, and there's just a ton of stuff to do in this game. Oh man, I'm dying so badly. The only thing that's not being shot are my subs because they're underwater and the enemy hasn't detected them yet. You can get sonar going and find the enemy submarines before they launch nukes all over you, but yeah, it's kind of like StarCraft. Hey, I made a StarCraft reference where it does tell you when the enemy has launched a nuke. It'll say something like nuclear launch detected. And I actually turned off the radiation. There's a little radiation setting where you can see the amount of radiation you've inflicted on poor Africa here. I've hit a couple of cities right now with my nukes, but I'm trying to take out their bombers at the same time with anti-air missiles, surface-to-air missiles. So yes, it's a very fun, very streamlined little game made by talented people. So I gotta support that. And it's only $10. I mean, how can you go wrong? It's not like... This is kind of a remedy to those big, wide open games like Fallout 3 where you can run for like 3 hours and never see the same place twice. That kind of game could get overwhelming at points. I mean, in this game, everything's very simple and you start on the same plane every single time. I mean, you can take a different continent, of course. I could start on Africa next time, but yeah, basically it's pretty much the same. So it's very, very comforting. It's very relaxing to play this game, and the music is nice, and the visuals are very nicely done, and the gameplay is nice, too. So yes, very, very good game. I give it the Nuke the Stars thumbs up. And I will be back soon with some more games.